What is the man-made environment? That's the first question. And you kind of help kids know that it's every place built or shaped by man. Why do we build the environment? Well, we got to help kids understand that we build the environment to shelter from the elements, for privacy, and to have a place for all of our different activities. What determines the form of our environment? Well, the size of man is very important. The activities we carry on, the land on which we build, the materials with which we build, the methods we use to build, how we get from place to place, how we make some places more important than others, and how we make our environment interesting to look at, to be in, and to walk through. People learn in different ways. We think that there's only one way, the way you do it in school, where you sit down at the desk and write what the teacher tells you. One of the ways is really in solving problems, in drawing, visual learning.
Today, we are going to be picking materials. Today is going to be a fun class today. We are going to put together a whole bunch of different stuff for you guys to pick from. And we're going to kind of finalize the floor plan today.
Oh, wow. You go like this, make it dark and heavy, and then you go like this to make it a little lighter. Like this. And like this.
I want to make a vote.
What's this for?
Who thinks we should just have lights up on the ceiling flashing all different kinds of colors? Raise your hand if you think we should have lights up on the ceiling flashing all different kinds of colors. Raise your hand if you think you should use this on the ceiling. This is kind of girly.
Many of the kids think lots of times when they sign up for the architecture club that they're just going to be drawing all the time. But, the professionals go much, further beyond that for them to look at it. I think for the kids to step back and say, okay, now I need to try and appreciate what goes into even making this building, my own house, and the other surrounding buildings behind me.
What about when people walk in? What are they going to step on when they walk in? In Target?
No, in the store?
Yeah, when they walk in the store.
It's in here.
I think we should take the stuff out to see it.
Well, one of the things that the architects this year had done much more of is that they used the kids' physical being to kind of help construct structures to teach them in the architecture club. So we did a lot more of physical relationships with them learning about, again, say, columns or arches or beams or what have you. That, again, was working together as their teamwork, using a lot of measuring skills and estimating and rounding and, inches and yards to get those tools together.
You guys should have a pair of 66 and a 71 next to each other at each corner.
You mean 71? We just need another 71. We don't have any more.
So 66 and 71.
So right here,
We got it.
Wait 1 second.
There's no doubt that almost all of them have a lot of fun with it. And having fun in the classroom and learning something through having fun, to me, has got to be a positive thing.
Before this, we did an opera where we read scripts and then went to the opera. For this, we actually got to do stuff and design a store and color. And I like being creative and drawing and stuff and picking out materials. So that was really fun for me. It expresses our creativity. We can express ourselves in regular class. We have to sit down and talk. And when we do experiments, we can't really experiment. It's just what the teacher says. But in this program, we get to express ourselves and do what we want to do, and not what the teacher says that we have to do.
The students and the architects who work in those classrooms get a great boost out of being useful to those classrooms.
You can see here, all the way across the top, the roof looks like it has a very steep slope, right? The gray part, which is shingle, slate shingles, that's the roof, and it's called a French mansard roof.
So it's a kind of roof?
It's a kind of a roof, right.
I mean, you can lay out your board however you want to lay it out. This is just an example of
But on your board, you should also have sketches of any ideas that you have that you've drawn on paper, okay?
What I found really rewarding about the program was how excited and enthusiastic the kids were about the project. It's amazing to keep a 10 and 11-year-old's attention span on anything, but I mean they seemed really into it and it was really exciting.
The teachers see other advantages in the learning process. They see the kids get into things, want to do things, learn different ways.
The students were so excited. They learned a lot. You know, we teach scale and math, but when you really see it in real life, you're going to understand what it's all about.
The spread of new ways of learning, alternative ways of learning like visual learning and the like, has spread like crazy. It certainly isn't everywhere. It certainly can go a lot further, and I think it will. And I think that's where the AIE will have an effect in showing how this can be done in a positive way.
I think the experience that the kids have had the past 4 years in being with me, of again, just looking at another adult and looking outside their small little world to see what exists and how this program affects everything, that it's not just about buildings and it's not just about houses or parking lots, but there's much more planning and in-depth organization that's involved for even if you just want to build a shed in the back of your property.
I can only think of all the things it does in a positive sense. It makes learning more fun. It makes teaching more fun. It contributes in really positive ways to our society.
They're always disappointed when it's over. It's never long enough. And then there's kids who are already chomping at the bit waiting to get into the club for next year because they only do it once a year. And that sometimes, oh, I gotta repeat it, can I be in it again?